Okay, check 1 2 1 2. Okay, initial butler. Am I on actually now? Okay. Oh, okay. See, what happened was I had some overlay edits that I did on Friday. I did a completely different overlay, so it was all spooky and Friday the 13th looking. And for some reason, my microphone was not connected properly, so I changed it. And I guess for some reason it changed it on this one. I don't know. I don't know this shit. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm up here yapping on and just talking, 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 and ain't nobody hearing me. So I guess whatever I was talking about doesn't matter. So let's just go back to mowing. So Initial Butler, how have you been? It's been a while since you've been by these parts. What brings you slumming around my neighborhood? No, I've only been at it for 15 minutes. Damn technology anyway. So basically I'm just going to have to cut my entire intro for when I post it up on YouTube. This is such a wiggly lawnmower. I'm not driving like this. This is literally how it's handling, trying to drive in a straight line. Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me. We're just doing some lawn mowing today. It hasn't. I haven't played Lawn Mowing Simulator for a while, and I just decided to go ahead and do this. It's just kind of an easy, laid-back sort of game. And working on building my empire. When I first started, I bought an upgrade to my garage. So in a week, I should have. I know, and I fully admit that I had no interest in this game when I first saw it. I was like, that's the dumbest looking game I've ever heard of. And then they released it for Game Pass on the Xbox. So I was like, oh, screw it. I'll download it. It's not a big download, and I'll give it a try. I played it, and I just was hooked. I loved it. This game is so great. I just hate how wiggly he is. This mower has a very loose zero-turn radius, and it's a little finicky. Actually, there's another game you probably never would have imagined me playing. I was playing it a lot all last week. Descenders. It's a BMX bike game where you try to do stunts and everything. Yeah. You know, I really wasn't peer pressured into it. I just saw it, and it was online, and I thought, oh, what the hell? I'll take it for a spin and see how it handles. And after a couple of lawn jobs, I was like, this is really fun. And what I like about it is it's very easy to just kind of zone out after a stressful day. And, you know, mower got bogged down. It's very, you can really just kind of zone out. Usually, if I'm not streaming, I'll listen to my podcasts. It's a great game to listen to either music or podcasts to, because all you gotta do is just follow the line. That's all you gotta do. I actually have a pretty decent lawn mowing service before this. So when I streamed this one, I just started from scratch. So the mowing service I have, I'll pause it here for a second. Oh, it's not here. I'll have to go back to the garage to see that. My company is called Lamb of Sod, which is a nice little grass pun. And right now I only have a single bay garage, so I can only have one lawnmower. But I just spent for the upgrades to my garage, so in a week I'll have a second bay, so as soon as I can afford one, I can actually buy a second lawnmower. And my reputation has gotten big enough that I'm able to have a single employee. But all that coming in time. And strangely enough, this game has gotten me a few subscribers, so... Alright. Employment potential, exactly. So how have you been? I see your stream. I get the alerts that your streams are kicking off, and I know you've been playing some Stardew Valley lately. But I don't know why. Is your streams are on so late at night? For me, I miss them, so I don't get a chance to see them. I'd love to join in, but sometimes when you start streaming, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I've already been in bed for like an hour or so. It really is. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's how it works, unfortunately. But that's why I try to post all of my stuff on YouTube. If people can't watch it live, maybe they can check it out later. Not that I'm getting any hits for that. Strangely enough, I have people going gaga over me doing Wheel of Fortune. I don't know what it is. Wheel of Fortune is like, it's not even close. It's like, I'll put up a stream and in a couple of days, maybe I'll have 1 or 2 or 5 hits. I put up a stream of me playing Wheel of Fortune, 275. And I'm like, what the hell? I guess the algorithm is looking for that name recognition and people are just looking for Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, it's crazy. But I don't want to be the Wheel of Fortune guy. Although I did finally, after I don't know how many games, I finally won the fucking car. The horror series. Oh, it's great. It's great. I actually just last week wrapped up season 2, so I'm right now kind of in my downtime in between seasons. But season 3 will be coming in about 6 weeks. But it's really good. I don't know if you've seen any of the episodes or anything, but yeah, season 2 I feel is a big improvement over season 1, and season 3 continues that trend, I believe. I think the quality goes a lot better every season because I did it all in kind of chronological order, and I just, as I went along, I just kept learning more and more. And how to do things easier, and editing techniques and little things. So yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. But oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just if you have time, check them out. I definitely could use the hits. I might be at it for a while before I hit that tipping point and the algorithm starts sending me some actual subscribers. But I'll get there. I'm going to pause this just for a second to talk about this because I am well into the scripting process for the next year because all of my videos are already done for this year. Season 3, Season 4, they're already done. I've just spaced them out so that it takes all year for them to kind of a little bit here, a little bit there. Next year I have a better upload schedule. It's not quite so sporadic. But I'm well into the scripting process. I have all the first drafts done, and I've gone through and done my rewrites for the 3 of 4 seasons. So right now I'm working on the final season of next year's videos. And I cut my hair, so as soon as my hair grows out long and I'm able to do the clown wig treatment to it, I'll be ready to do some recording. But I'm definitely working on some side ideas and other things. Heck, the other day I started looking up videos for year 3, so I'm definitely not resting on my laurels. I am definitely in it for the long haul. I would love this to be something to get me a little bit of spending cash, but we'll just see what happens. If nothing else, it's a fun little diversion. But I'm giving it my all. If my all is good enough, then hopefully other people take notice. I've been chatting with some of the not streamers, but the other movie review channels that I actually watch. I've actually started developing a rapport with some of them on Twitter. There's 3 main channels I watch, and I won't drop any names or anything, but I've actually corresponded with a couple of them on more than one occasion. One of them I've actually had some, decent conversation with to talk about some stuff, and that person actually gave me the invite to ask them any questions along the way. But I have the feeling that it's probably going to be like, 5 years or whatever before I tip over to the point where I have some real subscribers and everything. But I'm actually... easy there, easy. Let's not crash into the wishing well. We'll wake up the creepy girl who's buried at the bottom there. And I like my VCR just fine the way it is. Yeah, I've been trying to make some connections and everything. It's slow going, but exactly, yeah. I'm online with my Twitter, connecting with a lot of horror communities. Unfortunately, a lot of it is if you're not Joe Bob Briggs, they don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, but I'm trying to be like Joe Bob Briggs. I give him a credit in my... I give him a special thanks in my credits for every episode. Him and Cassandra Peterson and Joel Hodgson and John Kassir. All the creepy creeps who introduced me to the world of schlock and all that sort of stuff. I have a buddy back in the States, and I would love to do a horror podcast with him, but he's not interested. I've asked him so many times. There's been so many times where he and I, when I was still living in the States, we were working together, and there were so many times we would just sit around and just talk about horror movies. And I was like, what our conversations were like, I think would make a great podcast, but he's not interested. And I'm like, come on. But like I said, I'm in it for the long haul. So yeah, I know, and he's a great conversationalist. When you get him going horror movies, he's all about it. He's got like professional grade. Professional quality horror masks and costumes of Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Like, when he dresses up as them, it's like good enough that you would believe that he just walked off of a movie set. And yeah, he's a good buddy of mine, and I just it's more I just want to hang out with him again and do under the excuse of doing a podcast. But nah, he's not interested. Oh, he totally goes out wearing them. He totally does. Usually when it's Halloween or horror conventions. But oh yeah, during Halloween, he and his cousin get together and they go around scaring the hell out of people by wandering around the neighborhoods. Okay, what's the time? Okay, so this thing said that I should be done 35 minutes. Oh wow, I am blowing through this. Easy, don't run over the flowers. I'm gonna, I think my time bonus for this one is definitely gonna make up for the flowers that I have hit. Yeah, well, I was actually afraid that I wasn't gonna be able to do this job because it's raining. And when it's raining, the grass is harder to mow. You spin out a little easier. The mower gets bogged down if it tries to take on too much. There's a lot of factors to the weather. But yeah, I'm already at 91% and I'm 16 minutes in. Shit. Yeah, like I said, I got some penalties because I'm a little out of practice, and I hit some flowers, and you get penalties every time you do that. So hopefully my finish bonus will cover that and then some. There we go. I think that's everything there. So let's take care of this thin little strip over here. But yeah, I'm really proud of the final project for the video, my horror channel. But it's not just horror. Actually, season 2 has a couple of skin flicks, teen sex comedies. So be sure to check those for nice filth. I actually was looking ahead at some of the other videos that I'm wanting to do, and even though I've already got all the movies selected and scripted for year 2. Oh yeah, not safe. Actually, I'm going to pause this. I censor everything that is on there. So, I mean, the gore and everything, as long as it's not like, oh, they actually killed some animal. You know, because I hate to say it, but there's some of these movies that I have that are like, there's one that I have that's in year 2, and like they kill a chicken on screen, and I'm like, wow, you could get away with so much shit in the Grindhouse days. Like, it's not a trick. It's literally they killed a chicken on camera. It's the satanic cult and everything, and they had to slaughter a chicken to get his blood and everything. And they literally put a chicken, live chicken, it's not even dead, and chop its friggin' head off. And I'm like, wow. Yikes. The things you could get away with in the 70s. But that's the thing that I love about these movies that I'm watching. You really get a chance to see the process and everything that they had. And even it's like they didn't have the budget to make an animatronic chicken. They just killed an actual chicken. And I'm sure there were protests, but, it's not like Cannibal Holocaust where they just went through the rainforest killing everything that they could find. Yikes, that's a disgusting little movie right there. But when you find out, like, the Italian horror movies, like, it's not so much the, like, American movies, because they still had the ASPCA and all that. But when you get to these, like, Italian movies, and it's like, when you see an animal in distress, you're like, they really put that animal in that situation, didn't they? But, things like that. I try to give trigger warnings, but animals and stuff like that I won't put on my channel. I'll just cut to me and say, and they just killed an actual chicken. As long as I'm aware of it. But the gore and everything, as long as I don't get flagged for it, it stays up there. But yeah. There's some really good stuff. Oh, we're already done. 18 minutes in a 35-minute job. Crazy. I didn't realize where we were at. I was so busy talking. All right, so let's turn off the mower deck. Where the hell? Oh, there we go. All right, so let's try not to spin donuts in the yard. And we're done. Jump in the truck and let's leave. Oh, look at this lovely lawn. Didn't I do a wonderful job? Yes, I think I did. Let's see how many flowers I destroyed, because I hit a bunch of them at the beginning. Oh, and by the way, I named my character Hank Hill. I used to sell propane and propane accessories. Okay, so we got a bonus for the ground check, $7.82. Ground check earnings 20. Cutting time bonus $30. I don't have that DLC, but there is DLC where you can mow the property at a dinosaur theme park. It's not real dinosaurs, they're like animatronics. I don't have that DLC though, but I want to get it. I haven't got it yet. But yeah, no, it's just a cheesy animatronics and everything like that, but you mow their property when you get high enough in the game. Okay, so we had $7.50 of penalties, $4 of flowers, and $3.50 of collisions. But our cutting bonus time got us $30, so that more than covered it. The job was supposed to be $385. We ended up with $435, so woohoo. Oh, and we've gone up in credibility rank to number 3. Fantastic. Oh, sure. Glad to see you after a while, Initial Butler, and we will. I'll do my best to try and catch some of your broadcasts, but yeah, good work with the wand. But yeah, keep in touch. Definitely, we'll. I'll try to catch some of your broadcasts, or at the very least, some of your rebroadcasts when I'm sitting around and don't really have anything. Maybe instead of a podcast, I'll just watch your show and give you some more hits. So good chatting with you, sir, and we'll catch you soon. I know. You bet. You take it easy. Tell the wife I said hi. Let's see. Okay, let's go into our garage and we're actually doing pretty good. We do need a little bit of maintenance, but we'll $7 for the repair. Engine needs $1.02. Yeesh. Bleeding me dry. The blades need a resharpening, $2.53. And $1.75 for petrol. Not too bad. I was expecting there to be a lot more damage. Alright. So we're all fixed up there. So let's see what jobs we have. 325. Ooh, 430. That one's 3-star complexity. But that's okay. I'm not afraid of the complexity. Is it raining? No, it's overcast, but not raining today. Alright. Oh, this one is recommended a 100 mowing deck, but I've got 122. That's okay. And confirm the contract, and let's go. Oh, I hate now that I know that the entire first 15 minutes of my broadcast, nothing was heard. Sometimes my program, I don't know why that is. When I had that extra overlay, for some reason the microphone got all wiggy and everything. I don't know. I don't know why it did that. Anyway. But at least I can talk about it again. Yeah. I'll have to remember to basically just cut that whole thing when I post it up on YouTube. I hate that. I hate going on and on and on and talking and not one word coming out. But I forgot that overlay and everything was there. I thought I'm so used to just hitting record and go. All right, 6 to 7 centimeters height. Oh, let's get our ground check first. 3 objects. There's a 1, there's a 2, and there's a 3. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. A 1, a 2, a 3. 3. Okay, so we need 6 to 7 centimeters mowing height. We can do 6.3. Alright. Lower the deck, turn it on, and first things first, we're going to kind of get this little edging over here, just to make this a little square. And off we go into the wild blue yonder. Oh, this one can be a pain with the wall over here, this first pass. Trying to get that there. We'll try our best not to have any collisions. But this little mower is a zippy thing. It's got some good horses. And they want to gallop. So we'll kind of square up here. Back up. Whoops. There we go. Whoops, collision. back up here, pick up that last little strip. Okay, I'm going to pause it just for a second there. Alright. I hate this new chair. It's so hard getting a good damn chair. The chair that I had originally, the back was connected to the arms, which connected it to the base, and one of the arms broke, sending my ass to the floor. And no, I'm not too fat for the damn chair. I checked. I am just under the weight limit. But it was still under warranty, so I got another one, and this one just creaks. Oh, I missed just a little bit. Let's go back and pick that up. Not that it's a huge deal, but missing a little bit here and there really can add up on some of these jobs. So I always try to get the very edge, and then when I get done, I have this giant section of extra that I don't have to actually accomplish. But I'd rather have that giant strip at the end. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I remember doing this one on a previous broadcast, and the mower that I had was not, I feel like it wasn't very good. Or maybe it was the first time I had this mower. But, yeah, this is, I think, the second time that I've done this particular lawn. What's the time for this one? 27 minutes. Let's see if we can beat it. Oh, easy, easy, easy. It's always this first pass. Oops. I don't know. Oh, I destroyed a flower. Damn it. I don't know what I hit. There we go. Alright. That first pass is always the tricky one. The obstacles are, you know, another thing altogether, but that first pass around the perimeter. Why aren't we going? I think the game had a little bit of a hiccup on that one. I just figured since this area is kind of squared off with the sidewalk, we'll just go ahead and get this one done now. And then we don't have to keep making long passes to pick up the rest. Technically, I should be doing that anyway, doing properties and sections. But I tend to just bring that camera down just a little bit. I tend to just do the entire property until it starts breaking off into pieces. Yeah, see, this mower wants to go really fast. This one's a really good one for wide open spaces. But because the mower deck is so big, the job will get done a lot faster than the estimate. See, like this section here is kind of broken off with the sidewalk, so I'm going to go ahead and just take this one and get it done. Pause that just for a second there. later on in the game, you get some real monster mowers. And what's nice about it is your reputation gets bigger as you go along, and you're able to do much bigger jobs. Sometimes you can get, I've gotten to the point where some of the jobs are, well over $1,000 for a single job. Get some employees on that, and start doing, 4 or 5 jobs at a time, and really start rolling in some money. I really like the zero-turn mowers the most because you can do that little maneuver that I just did. You can do the back and forth a little bit easier, and sometimes doing that instead of circular patterns around the property are a better idea. But then with the zero turn, you can also do this. You just kind of edge up. Whoops, got a flower. Well, you can do that with any mower. You can kind of just get up against the edge and then just zero turn all the way around the whole thing. I'm just kind of going a little too fast. But now this section's done. We don't have to come back to it. So we'll pick back up with over here. I'm going to just kind of make this a section all of its own. A lot of twists and turns on this one, but we only have to go to the sidewalk now since we got that section done. And that's the thing I like about this game is, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. If you want to do circles around the property, you can do that. If you want to go back, forth, and back and forth, you can do that too. You don't get points for it. It's all based on time and how many penalties you've been given. This one tree is kind of annoying, so I'm kind of glad that I'm getting this section done now before my patience gets a little thin. Sometimes you do orchards or pasture land that have a lot of trees, and it gets kind of annoying trying to mow around them all. But because the tree's blocking the camera, sometimes you miss your turns. So, yeah, I mean, I could just move the camera, but then I have to readjust it. So I'd rather just power on through the damn thing and then bitch about the job later on. Let's just go ahead and get this taken care of, and hopefully the tree doesn't block too many flowers from being seen. There we go. We didn't lose a one. We're already up to 61%, 27, so half of that is 1350. So, oh yeah, we're like 3 minutes faster. We're well above the halfway mark. That's always how I see how far my progress is coming, I just kind of do the 50%. And I figure if I'm going by the time that they say that I need to be for the job, I just kind of wait until wait until I hit 50%, and then see where I'm at time-wise, and if I'm above or below par. Okay, so that section's done. Go back over here, and we've got 35% more to do. I'm not even going the fastest that this thing can go. Sometimes you got to be careful of going too fast. If the grass is too much, it'll bog down your engine, and then you have to go back and mow that section again. We're almost up to 80%. We're not even at the halfway mark. This is crazy. Or halfway mark with the time. Definitely going to get another time bonus. Unless something awful happens. Of course, you always, depending on how fast you can mow, you still got to be careful not to go too fast, turning and everything, because it is possible to damage the ground, and you get penalties for that too. Dang, we're at 90% and we haven't hit the halfway part in the time. That's crazy. Let's take it slow now that we've got a nice... Ooh, I bumped the flower, but did not hit the flower. There we go. No penalty. All right, let's finish this bitch. See, now technically we could quit before getting that last little bit, but I just kind of like finishing up. Okay, so we got 15:25, and it was supposed to take us 27 minutes, so just slightly more than halfway. The halfway part was 13:30. So not 2 minutes more than the halfway mark. Yeah, I would say we ought to get a nice little bonus for time. Throttle down and off the mower. La la la. Oh, that's real good. Just drive the truck right through the fence. That's fantastic. All right. What a lovely job. Let's see how officially lovely the job was. Because it's all about tips in this job. Okay, we were supposed to make 405. We ended up with 446. So 41 extra dollars. $11 in fines and penalties. Flowers, collision. Really, I had $7 worth of collisions on that. That's crazy. Doesn't feel like that. But I guess getting that close to the brick walls does the damage as you grind along, I guess. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because the flowers, we got four of those, $4. So I think it's $1 per flower, maybe. So, but we ended up with the time bonus, $20.85. So that more than covered our penalties, our $11 worth of penalties. All right. Our weekly report. Oh, we're still at a net loss, but that's because we had building purchases and everything. I made the $1,500 purchase for the building upgrade, so if I hadn't have done that, I actually would have had a profit for this week. Okay. All right, so let's go to the garage and see how our... All right, ooh, $7.61 for the damage. Engine's fine, blades $249, petrol $1.48. All right. Okay, what kind of jobs do we have now? $370, 1.5 star complexity. Let's go ahead and do that. They recommend 110, but I've got 120. They always give that warning, but I'm like, I'll be fine. All right, confirm that contract and let's go. A little tip, if you start a vehicle's blades before increasing the throttle, you will stall the engine. I don't think I've ever had that happen. I don't want to do that because I'm sure that will damage the engine and it'll need to be fixed, so... Oh, it's another rainy day. Wow, 2 sets of tree trimmers just laying in the yard. There's 1, 2, 3, and... There we go. All right, what's the mowing size? 5 to 6 centimeters. Let's try, I'm going to try to make a personal challenge. No, I'm not worried about the time. Let's try to not get a single flower penalty. No penalties in this one. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, I'm going to pause that just for a second. There we go. I mean, I'm killing it with the time, so obviously that's not a major factor. But of course, the faster I get the jobs done, the more jobs I can do. But let's try. I'm going to try to not get a single penalty. I don't think I've ever done that. I've gotten close, where it's like, you know, just one flower here or there. Let's back up and get that. I mean, ultimately, that's what you're supposed to do. Not get any penalties or fines or anything. So let's see if we can do one where it's just pure profit. No deductions. Alright, there we go. That's the tricky part. Now I can actually use a little bit of speed. Let's bring that down just a bit. Okay, what's the time on this one? 28. So I should be at 50% at 14 if I'm on time. Oh. Okay, so I'm kind of doing this a little bit like what I did last time, where I'm just kind of sectioning things off. And I forgot there's a gazebo in this area. This thing is so lightweight, it kind of bounces around. Like that wobble and everything. I'm not driving like that. That's what happens when I'm not on the thumbstick. So hopefully you guys aren't getting motion sickness from that. All right. Okay, so far so good. Oh, oversteered. I about had an accident. On these rainy days, you want to be careful making these sharp turns back and forth. That's when you start potentially damaging the ground. I would hate to miss all the flowers only to incur some damaged ground penalties. A lot of cows in this quaint country little town. Oh, okay. A little worried there when it gives those little alerts. I'm always like, oh, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Engine got bogged down, taking on too much. Easy there. I think I'm focusing just a little too hard, but I'm really anxious to try and get that no penalty run. Because time is never a factor on these. I'm always done. And here's the thing: even if you do take longer, it's not like you get a penalty. You just you lose out on the bonus. That's really all it is. Unless there's a penalty that I'm not aware of. But most of the time, I don't. My jobs don't go much longer than is necessary. The one thing that's nice about this game is you can, if you have a good set of headphones or you're really good at listening to the sound effects, the engine will let you know when it's struggling. So you can kind of get an audio clue before things get too bad. And it's just like in real life. If you hear your engine bogging down, you can kind of make adjustments. Did I hit a flower? I don't know if I did. It didn't give me an alert, but it looks like a flower disappeared. I don't think we got the penalty, but we'll see. Okay, what did I say it was? Okay, so 14 is the halfway mark, and I'm well ahead of it. Because we're at 50% and we're at 10:30. hill or what, but I can really stomp on the gas there to get it moving. Up. Back up and pick up a little bit of that. So since my microphone wasn't working earlier, I'll go ahead and say the story that I was saying, talking about the day that I had. Me and my wife didn't really have anything to do. We were both off work. She didn't have any classes and everything. So I had just gotten my first paycheck for the new job that I just started a couple of weeks back. And unfortunately, I was in the middle of a pay period when I started, so I only got 1 week's pay, even though I've done 2 weeks worth of work. So I'm anxious for that next pay stub to come through, because by the time I get there, it'll be a full paycheck instead of a half one. And I'm making pretty decent money. When I got that first stub, I was quite happy because it was a little bit more than I thought I was going to be making, and that's always nice. When your pay rates, it's not like drastically different, but it is more than I expected it to be. And that was a nice surprise. I was told it was going to be one thing, and then it ended up being a little bit more. So anyway, I had some money burning in my pocket, and since I hadn't been working lately, I've been trying to cut corners and try not to have any unnecessary expenses. And one of those unnecessary expenses is going to a cafe for breakfast, which I don't do a lot, but when I'm kind of working and everything, I like to make it a somewhat regular occurrence. And by that I mean like once a month, like would be nice. Just once a month going to a cafe and having a nice big cappuccino served in an actual ceramic mug instead of a paper cup to go. But so that's what we did. We just decided to just get up and go. And boy, it was nice. It's nice to have that little bit of disposable income again. And then when we got done with breakfast, we just headed down to the nearby shopping center and just started hiking around. Not really shopping. Most of the businesses weren't even open at the time, but the mall was open. So we just kind of wandered around there for a while, and then we got done and was like, I'm not ready to go home. Let's just head down to a different shopping district. And it was just a nice day. I hadn't had one of those for a while. We had COVID shutdowns and everything, so cafes were just right out. And just being able to go in one, and it's amazing how much you miss going in and sitting down at a restaurant. I mean, yeah, you could go in and go through like drive-through or carry out, takeaway, all that sort of stuff, and the businesses are still fine. But there's just something to be said about going into a business, sitting down, a waitress comes and talks to you. And I didn't realize how much I had missed that. So I told my wife that when my full 2-week pay stub comes in, I said, we're going to a big dinner restaurant. I don't know exactly whether it's going to be like Italian or what, but I said I want to go to a place where somebody has to approach me where, you know, we're seated and someone comes up and asks me what I want. And then they have to bring it to me. Someplace that I can get a drink. Maybe a cocktail or something to go along with dinner. Someplace nice. Not, you know, super expensive nice, but just, you know, a place that you have to sit down in a chair, not a booth. So, yeah, so when that comes around, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, but that will be a couple of weeks because like I said, I just got paid before the weekend, and that money was really burning a hole in my wallet. But the thing that's nice about it is, you know, it's a decent pay rate, but I'm not working a ton of hours. Right now I'm still kind of in the training phase. So I don't know if once I get past a certain point, will I be getting, you know, more shifts or whatever. But what's nice about it is I'm really only working a couple of shifts a week. So I have a lot of downtime still to do my side projects and, you know, streaming and my YouTube channels and all that stuff. So it's a good mix. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that it works out, that it's something that I can, you know, kind of stick with. It's not difficult work, but I sure would like to hang on to it. Okay, so we finished in 18 minutes. So wow, almost 10 full minutes early. And so far, no, as far as I know, we didn't get any penalties. We didn't hit anything. We didn't run over any flowers, as far as I know. So let's see what the official report is. Okay, I have a good feeling about this, but I don't know. Hopefully the machine or the computer didn't miss anything. Collisions, 75 cents? I don't know where, but all right. Wow. I was really hoping for that goose egg, but okay. I mean, worst case, I just lost 75 cents. We were supposed to get $3.50 for it. We got $3.93. So it would have been $3.93.84. But damn it, I had to leave those 3 quarters on the floor. But that's all right. Not bad. Not bad at all, really. All right. So let's see. Engine needs 11. The vehicle needs 11 cents worth of repair. Engine needs $1.06. The blades need $1.73 and $1.75 in gas. That's pretty good. Not really cutting into my profit margin, really. All right. How are we doing? We have $1,976. Let's see. Let's see what our vehicle value is. 4,637. So that puts us up to 4, 5, 6. So up to 6,000. Let's see if we can if there's anything that we can buy. That's what we have right now. Okay, so we need 8,000 for that one. But what is? You know, if we keep at this, by time it comes to having our garage upgraded, we ought to have enough money to buy this one and get that for our first employee. So we might be able to do a couple of jobs. Okay, 325, 325, 325. They are all the same, complexity the same, but if you'll notice, 2 of them are 135 reputation value. One is 150 reputation. Oh, I didn't notice that. the lesser amounts can get a much higher reputation. I'll still take the most expensive property. It's recommended 155, but we don't have one that big. All right, headquarters. Let's see. Okay, so we got 2 more days before our headquarters gets upgraded. So basically, that's 2 jobs. You get one. You get every day. You get a new set of jobs and everything. That's how the whole thing, the system works. But yeah, so I'll have a job today, a job tomorrow, and then basically, yeah. So I can only do 1 job a day. But if I get an employee, then I can have them do a 2nd job. The problem is I'll be hiring some low-skilled workers, so they will not be doing very good. I have to spend money to train them up. So I may not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll get an employee right away. I got to have a lawnmower, and I have to have a edger. Okay, this job should only take 19 minutes. Oh, I see a beer bottle. Alright, let's check into grounds. Nothing in this section. Aha! There goes a little squeaker toy. What was that, 17 seconds? Not too bad. Alright, what's the height? 6 to 7. Oh, we're already up to 16%. 18%. My God, this is going quick. Oh, right. This is the Chewbacca yard. Very hilly. This thing wants to take off. Very odd shaped section. It's like, a little bit here, a little bit there. We're already almost at 50%. It was supposed to take 19 minutes. At 3:15, we were at the halfway point of being completed. Crazy. Oh, there's a collision. Damn it. Lots of stuff to mow around. Ooh. Oh, that's right. This one's got that little section I can't reach with the mower. Have to go in with the weed eater, whippersnipper, edger, whatever it is you want to call it. Oh. Wanted to turn into the flower bed. I guess it was a uneven bit of the property there. I like that random flower just there, like it's taunting me. Just sitting in the middle of nowhere. No other flowers around. Almost as if to say, hit me. No one will ever know that I'm gone. Okay. Get this little bit over here, and that is all I can get with the mower. Last little section over there I have to get with the edger, which kind of sucks doing a section like that, but we don't have much of a choice. Can't get the mower to it. Whoa, easy there. This ain't as big of an area as it looks. Ugh, I hate edging. What is my percentage? 99.5. I have got a lot still to do. What am I missing? It's not here. There's a bunch. This is the part of the game that I hate. Trying to find that last 5%. Or 0.5%. trying to find a section that's big enough to count for still the 0.4% that I need. Let's take a look over here. Oh my God! This is why this is where all of my time bonus is going to go. There's a big section. It takes so damn much to get the edging. And I still need 0.3%. Oh my God. Ugh. Oh, there's a whole section over there I didn't even see. There we go. I didn't even know that was there. Wow. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. We've had 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes to spare. Even with all that whippersnipper bullshit at the end there. Alright. Well, we got some collision damage, but I don't think we lost any flowers. I don't recall any of those. $4.25 worth of collision, but we still ended up with $41.11 more than the job was worth. So, yeah. Cutting time bonus, 18. All right, we've gone up in credibility rank. All right, so we've... oh, that's right, I forgot. We have a loan that we have to repay. Earlier in the game, I kind of screwed up, and I bought this mower, but I didn't have enough money to buy the mulching attachment, so it was throwing grass out the side, and it was leaving such a mess. There was no way I would be able to pick it all up. So I had to take out a loan just to pay for the mulching deck, and yeah. So now I'm paying a lot of interest on that damn mulching deck. All right. How are we with our headquarters? We still have one more day. And we're up to, oh, because we had to pay that loan, we just lost $300. So we basically are right back to where we are before we did that job. Okay, what's the best job? Ooh, look at this. Oh, this one is a big damn job. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I don't know if I should take it. What's the recommended? See, it's recommended 150 mower deck. I have 122. I'm going to do it just because that's a big wad of cash, but this is a big mowing job. And it's sunny, so we don't have to worry about the rain. But yeah, this one's going to take some time. It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of work, too. He says, sitting in his fucking office chair. All right, it's gonna get there at some point. It's a big yard. Well, it's actually like a horse. It's part of a horse riding academy's paddock or whatever. Yeah, paddock. That's the right word. That's actually what it's called. There's a lot to mow around in this, but there's a lot of wide open space too. So I'm already seeing some items I need to pick up. That thing is tricky to get around, so I might do some edging up front. These little riding, jumping barriers and everything can be a real pain, so let's get everything picked up here first. Alright, well, we got 6 objects we got to pick up. Alright, there's 1. There's 2. Oh, there's 1. Sometimes you can look in, if you got a big property, you can look well off into the distance and see things standing in the grass before it kind of loads up. Oh. And sometimes you just have to trip over the damn things. Oh, I think I see it over there. Yep, there we go. All right. Oh, this is new. The last time I played, I don't think this was here. Sometimes it's easier getting the edging when the grass is before anything is mowed. I don't know why that seems like that is, but yeah. But this is you just kind of getting a couple of inches so you don't have to mow right up against the damn thing. Just kind of get all edges. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more you get done with the edger, the less you have to do. And this is just such a weird, awkward thing. I always regret not hitting it. It's just got these weird corners. Hey, Brett! I almost missed your message there. It's been sitting there for a while. How are you doing today? Hope things are well. I don't know if you were trying to do the fat Albert. Alright, there's that. Let's get around this thing. Sometimes if you can get along the edge, you can kind of get this little sweet spot where you can just kind of walk around and just do a straight line. Oh yeah, definitely. Get yourself a cuppa. I will be here. You just kind of get in the right spot, then you can just kind of use the object as a guide to just kind of run down. Okay, so there's that. Definitely want to get around this trash bin because this thing is a pain in the ass. And we'll just kind of do a little bit of the edge here. This is probably one of the more annoying parts of the game, but sometimes it is very helpful. Just kind of giving yourself that little extra bit of room to move around, just to avoid the penalties. And sometimes there's these little corners that are just damn impossible to hit, depending on your mower. I'm not going to... Oh, this. Every time I hear a horse whinny in the distance, all I think is, Frau Blucher. That's a Young Frankenstein reference. Some of you older viewers might get that. Young Frankenstein is not my favorite Mel Brooks movie, but it's a good one. There's a lot of good quotable parts. But I haven't seen it enough times to make the quotes perfect. Okay, so those are some of the tougher ones. Let's take a look at these trees. Oh, what the hell. Let's do a little bit of the tree. One of my favorite moments when looking at interviews, it was an unscripted moment that just became so hilarious on set, they just left it in. There's this moment basically the plot. If you don't know the movie, the plot is young Frankenstein. He is the descendants of Victor Frankenstein from the original movie. It's a parody of the original like Universal movie, and the character played by what is his name? He played Willy Wonka in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder. I couldn't think of his name. Gene Wilder plays Frankenstein, although at the beginning he says it's pronounced Frankenstein. He is ashamed of his family's history and wants nothing to do with any of the experiments. Well, he gets a notification that his uncle has passed away, and he has to go up and take care of the estate. And while he's there, he stumbles across all of the original experiments, and he gets batty and starts doing the experiments along, just like, cutting up the wrong height. Whoops. Boy, I'm mucking this whole damn thing up. Now I'm stuck in the corner. Okay, let's put the mowing deck back down. What is the mowing height? 7. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. Okay, so Frankenstein, he goes up and he starts finding his uncle's notes. I think it's his uncle. He finds all of his notes, and he starts joining in with the experiments, and he starts recreating his uncle's work, thinking that he's smarter and that he'll be able to improve on it and not be the failure that his ancestor's name is so synonymous with. So the castle that he goes up to comes complete with his own Igor, although he says that his name is Igor, playing on the idea that his name is Frankenstein. Anyway, I'm going to pause this because I don't want to screw it up. So they kind of become friends, and Frankenstein is sitting at the table, and he's very upset because he's tried an experiment and it didn't work, or so he thinks it didn't work, and he's feeling really beat down and everything. And Igor comes up, and they're just having a little bit of dinner, and he's wiping his mouth, and he's like, there are times like this that I'll remember the words that my father used to say. And Frankenstein looks at him and says, what did he say? And Igor is just, why don't you get out of the bathroom and let somebody else have a chance? What the hell are you doing in there all day and night? I screwed it up. I said it backwards. But he seemed so sincere and so genuine. And then, what the hell are you doing in the bathroom all day and night? Why don't you get out of there? Let someone else have a chance. And it was an unscripted moment that just happened. And Mel Brooks found it so damn funny, he just left it in the movie. And it's so hilarious. But yeah, it's a funny movie. It's not like I said, it's not my favorite Mel Brooks movie, but I like it. I honest to God did not realize that movie was as new as it was, because Mel Brooks went the route of doing it in black and white. And because of that, I thought it was an older movie. It was made in the 80s. For the longest time, my favorite Mel Brooks movie was actually Spaceballs. That one used to be my favorite. I actually watched it not that long ago, and I don't think it's as funny as I remember it. There's a lot of great jokes, and it's very funny, but I don't find it as funny as I used to. I don't know why this thing is crashing me into this wall. I am nowhere near this wall, and it's acting like I am just destroying this wall. I would definitely say my favorite Mel Brooks movie has to be Blazing Saddles. it's so funny. I don't know if anybody else out there watching this has seen it, but it's such a great movie. You would never see it made today. It's very much about race relations and everything, and it's done very tongue in cheek. And I don't think anybody would. Hollywood would be too chicken shit to remake that. That's the one I want to see. Who's got the balls to remake Blazing Saddles? But I mean, it's done in a way that reminds everybody that racism is stupid. And in fact, the people who are the racists, they're the idiots of the movie. But it's very funny. My favorite joke in the thing was actually there's a joke in there where basically the plot of that movie, if you don't know it, the plot is this governor is trying to get the citizens of this town out because he owns the railroad and he wants to buy up the property so that he can run the railroad through instead of going around all the quicksand and the mountains and everything. He just wants to go right through this town. So in order to get the people to leave, he sends in rustlers and desperados and people and the people in town, they don't want to leave. So they figure the last thing that they could do is replace the sheriff with a slave, a black slave who worked for the railroad. I say worked, but he was basically an indentured servant. But so he goes in thinking it's an actual job. But the whole thing is it's the governor trying to belittle these people and take away any last semblance of their hope that things can get better. And the town at first hates because they're racist. It's an all-white town, and here comes this black sheriff, and they hate him. And it's so racist and so nasty, but he actually starts proving that he is smart and able to handle the town's problems, and he starts winning them over. And it's really this funny tongue-in-cheek way of, it's like, it's like these are people, and it's, they're just as much have the right to this, to live a life and be prosperous as anybody in this town. And it's a great lesson. But a lot of the jokes I don't think would last, would make it very far in a modern remake. But that's okay, because I wouldn't want to see Blazing Saddles remade. It's a classic, and it's perfect the way it is. Gene Wilder's in that one too. He plays a drunk gunslinger who is basically done with life, and he and the sheriff become good friends, and there's a bit of a buddy comedy sort of thing that they get going on between each other, and it's a great movie, very funny though, as long as you're not scared to laugh. I hate how there's so many people who are scared to laugh at a joke because it's not 100% clean and family friendly. But I won't get on my soapbox about that. And my lawnmower is getting bogged down with this job. I'm actually going to start doing, instead of going circles, I'm just going to go back and forth. Yep. I'd like to raise the mowing deck just a little bit, but I can't without it becoming too high. All right, what's the time that this one? Okay, so this one's recommended a 39-minute. So I will probably be right on that one. Yeah, see this little waggle that my lawnmower is doing. It is not my doing. It's the mower getting kind of bumped around. Yeah, see that I keep getting bogged down because the grass is so tall. So I can't go at full speed, unfortunately. Oh, wow, Jesus, that whole area bogged it down. I wasn't even moving that fast. This one could take a while. I'm already at the 10-minute mark and I'm only at 14%. What did it say? 39? Okay, so, yeah. So I'm kind of at the, I should be at 25% at this point, but I had to do all of that edging. So the time is going to be a little weird on this. And when it bogs down, it's best to just go ahead and take care of it right away. See, now in real life, if I was mowing and the engine was bogging down like this, I would do half. I would use like half of the mowing deck. And by that what I mean is instead of running over and doing an entire path, I would only take half, so that basically the mower only has to do half the job. But that doesn't seem to change here. You know, it's you're either mowing or you're not. So it's like right now I'm doing the majority of the mower deck, and by that I mean the width of how much I can mow. I'm basically doing as much of it as I possibly can. But if I was mowing in real life, I might do something like this and just do half. But that doesn't really seem to make a difference, or if it does, I have not noticed. So I'm just gonna do the whole damn thing. But see, that edger actually did a lot more around this than I thought. But that's why sometimes doing the edging first is a good idea. That was because getting around that now is a much easier job. At that point, you don't have to get right up against the damn thing. You can just do a quick little lap around it. Sometimes when the throttle down there, your speed gauge, sometimes when it goes in the red, it hasn't quite tipped over to being bogged down, but it's about to. So sometimes you can get away with it redlining before it officially gives you the notification. But you still don't want to go too fast. Like that. I don't think technically that bogged it down to where I'm not getting a good cut. And see, on a big job like this, it makes a lot more. Sometimes it feels preferential treatment side. It feels like it's a much better idea to kind of do these long. Oops, missed a little bit right there. Sometimes it feels better just doing these long straight stretches and just going back and forth, back and forth. Hey, Brett, how's the cuppa treating you? Oh, there's a little section that I missed there. Frau Blucher. Isn't that a great bit of technology? I love that. When I'm making my breakfast, I have my cell phone sitting on top of the stove, and I'm usually watching YouTube videos or listening to my podcast. I love that. You know, because it's something that when I was a kid, we couldn't even have dreamt about. Wow, a cuppa and food too, man. Having a nice little morning there. Hopefully the job detail hasn't been too rough for you lately. I know it makes you wonder what the hell is going to happen. I really don't know. I feel like we're going to get to the point where people have like embedded technology where it's like, you know, the cell phone isn't something you carry, it's something that, you know, projects over your eyes or something. And everybody will be like, you know, and we won't see what they're doing, but they'll see, you know, their eyes and everything like that. Smell-o-vision. God, I hope not. If so, don't ever order me the Kardashians box set or anything. That is a show I never want to smell. Just the entire show just smells like sweat, shame, and money that hasn't been washed recently. You know that smell? The smell I'm talking about? Like when you get a really, you know, a dollar bill that's definitely been covered in sweat. Just has that kind of rancid sort of smell. Where the bill has definitely soaked it up and dried. Probably could use a run through the wash. Yeah. If the Kardashians had smell-o-vision, that's what I imagine it would smell like. That and shame. Actually, they tried doing stuff like smell-o-vision when I was a kid. There was this show, I don't remember. Oh, I remember what it was. I'm going to pause this. It was one of the Revenge of the Nerds sequels. Like they did the Next Generation, where it was like the original cast came back and they had a whole new cast of college kids that they kind of mentored. And Fox was doing this big deal where if you bought that week's TV guide, you would get, I think that's how you got it, but you would get a packet of scratch and sniff cards. And when the movie was playing, they would give you a prompt to scratch the card and you would smell it while the movie was playing. So it was like they would have like a party situation, you'd scratch it and it's like somebody was in the corner blowing bubbles, and then you'd scratch that card when it prompted you and then it would smell like dish soap or something. So it was like, yeah, it was a weird concept, and I don't know why they did it, but yeah, they were trying that sort of stuff from time to time. So smell-o-vision, yeah, it's one of those things that I have seen in some form or another, but I do love that sort of stuff. In fact, it's funny that we're talking about that sort of a thing, because when I was shopping earlier, I went to the horror section at one of the movie stores, and they actually had a copy of The Tingler. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie The Tingler. The Tingler is a low-budget, I think 50s or maybe 60s black and white science fiction movie, science fiction horror, and Vincent Price was in it. And the whole thing about The Tingler was it was a parasite. It would get inside of you, and then it would attach itself to the base of your spine. And once it got a hold of you, you were done. It had control over you, and the only reason that you knew that it was attached to you is you would feel your spine tingling. You know, ha 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 ha. And it's like, that's why people get the spine tingle. So there were movie theaters in the country, in the United States, that had these electric mechanisms attached to the bottom of them They were these little plungers that, when activated, they would go and just hit the bottom of the seat. So in some of these select theaters that were playing The Tingler, they would wait until everybody was at a fever pitch. It was at the scariest moment, and then they would hit that thing, and like whatever seats were rigged, people would feel that, and it would jam the tingling sensation up their spines, and it would make them, because they've now been conditioned that this creature will attach itself to your spine, and you'll only know a tingling sensation before it fully takes over. And they had people screaming bloody murder when they hit these little vibrators, for lack of a better word, that would thunder up in their seat, scare the shit out of them, and then everybody in the theater would just start panicking because someone's now screaming in the corner and running out. And I was like, boy, I wish theaters would do stuff like that, you know? I don't know. It's just, I feel like I missed out on a great section of Hollywood, even though most of the movies of that era I'm not a big fan of. I like I like it in practice or on paper, but the movies themselves, I wasn't really big. I always thought they were kind of cheesy, a little bit hokey. I appreciate them for what they are, but yeah, for me, I was never a big fan of black and white movies. There's very few black and white movies that I care for. And I don't think it's not necessarily because they're black and white. I just feel like during that time when black and white sci-fi horror and everything was going around, I just feel like it was, the movie quality was not quite that great. You know, I feel like the action was not high enough, and it was more of a like there was a lot of dialogue, lots of scenes where people sitting around talking and smoking, and it's like, we're going to sit here and we're going to tell you what's going on in the movie, but we're not going to show you. And you know, if you're an older person and you grew up watching those in the drive-in theaters and everything, more power to you. I don't want to say that it's a bad era, but everybody kind of likes the movies that they grew up watching as a kid. So, you know, those were the types of movies that my parents were into and they loved. But me, I was an 80s kid, so I grew up with Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers and, you know, really great schlocky science fiction horror movies of the 80s. And then towards the, at one point, you know, we started getting cable channels that were really making a difference. And getting a chance to see some interesting late night movies. TBS and TNT and Cinemax. We never had HBO though. Well, technically we never had Cinemax, but I was able to see through the scrambler. So, and what's funny is the scrambling program got worse doing its job the later it got. And the later it got, the better the movies were. Sometime around 2 in the morning, the scrambler basically wasn't working at all. So I got to see some good stuff. But, you know, that's the type of movies that I'm trying to do for my movie review channel. Because that's the era of movies that I grew up watching. You know, in my impressionable youth. In fact, I was actually doing some over the weekend I was doing some movie scouting for future episodes. And I've started stumbling across some really good late night Skinamax softcore porn titles, and I'm like, I don't know if I technically want to get into that. I mean, my whole video thing was always, it was never horror, it was always trash. I don't know, I just have an affinity for trash movies. And the 80s and 90s had some really good trash that came out. So I don't know if I want to get into that, but some of them I've stumbled across have some weird sci-fi and horror angles to them, and I feel like that might make them just weird enough to be worthy of reviewing. But all that's, on the way. As I was talking to a viewer earlier, I've almost finished with the script writing process for my second year of episodes. So anything that I come across now would be for year 3. And I'm only just halfway done with year 1. I can't wait for the next several weeks to pass by, because season 3, when it launches, is going to be a great time. There's some really good movies in season 3. All right, so this one I feel like I am definitely going to go long, because what is it? It's the time is supposed to be 39, so half of that would have been, what is that? 19 and a half minutes, and I'm already up to 23, and I'm not near the halfway point. So, but I knew, but it's a big job. It was a big job going in, but it's going to be a big payoff too. I think it was like $1,300, whereas most of my jobs have been $300, $400. But yeah, over the weekend while I was doing some movie scouting and everything, I was also working on some script work, trying to get that last season done. And I was working on one script that I was real hesitant going back to, because there was some problems when I was writing the script the first time. I was getting confused on the character names, like who was which character, because there were a lot of names that were kind of confusing all at the same time, and the people in the movie didn't reference each other very often. So I had to scour through the movie to try to find, okay, what's this guy's name? And it was just one of those things where it was like, I just want to read through the script, punch it up. I don't want to do any actual work on it. But I got it done. And there's actually some real good jokes that I've written in for it. And I'm very much looking forward to that one. But that's a year 2 episode. So it's going to be a while before that one comes out, especially considering it's the 4th season of year 2. So technically season 8. We just finished season 2. So. Well, like I keep telling everybody, I'm in this thing for the long haul. I definitely am wanting this to be a serious project someday. Well, I hope I got everything. That that roof kind of ruined my camera work. Oh wow, we are just now up to the halfway point. 26 minutes, and it's supposed to take 39. Yikes. Alright, so we're gonna cut this right here and just kind of take this off as a section of its own. Yeah, see, it's just bogging down and leaving some of the grass because this is kind of a downhill slope. Wow, I left a big spot right there. Oh my God, this might be my last job for the broadcast, since this one's taking a long time. It's definitely a case for why when it says it needs 155 mower deck, you should definitely use 155 mower deck. I'm doing 120, I think 122, and it is not doing the job. I mean, we're getting there, but my God, we're not even 60% done, so we're not even 2/3 of the way through this. And I keep leaving these little corners for some reason. I don't know why. boy, I definitely need a mower with more horsepower. This one is doing the job, but I'd much rather be doing a faster job. There are some high-end models towards the end of the catalog that have that have some decent get up and go. Well, I'm just hitting everything. I'm gonna get so many fucking penalties. Okay, then we are now officially, no, not yet. We're not just about to 2/3 done. And yeah, we are definitely not getting the time bonus for this one. In fact, with all the collisions and everything, I'll consider myself lucky if we break even on what the job was supposed to give us. Just making sure there's nothing still there. Okay. And we're going to do the same for this little section here. Care, I'm literally just marking it. I'm heading downhill, and that makes me go a little bit faster than what my engine's actually capable of handling. Ah. 74%. I do remember the first time I did this job, and I did not have a mower that was anywhere near the right size, and it took me so damn long to get done with the job. That's when I started paying more attention to the recommended mowing deck size. Because this one's not going so bad. I mean, we're 3/4 done, and just now have hit the time. So, you know, we're at what, 76%. So yeah, we at this point on, there is no more time bonus. So any bonus that we get is going to come from searching the grounds, which went pretty quickly. Still a pretty big section of grass, but it's getting there. We're almost to 80%. The percentage seems to go faster when you get close to the end. Part of me is like, is wondering if, do I really want to buy a second mower, or do I want to put that money towards a bigger mower? When I get done with this, I'll have to see how much money I actually have sitting in the bank. If I get a bigger, heftier mower opportunity, I might seriously consider that. I mean, because when I get an employee, I'm going to have to spend time and money training them, increasing their skills and abilities, and that takes a little bit more money than I think that it should. But that's part of the game. And then I have to pay their salary. So I feel like getting a new, like, a much bigger mower for myself is probably the better route. Just work a little bit longer, put that away, and then start taking on the serious giant jobs with the mower, with the much bigger mower, I should say. But we'll see. Like I said, this job alone is for $1,300. Depending on how many collision how many collisions we've had, how many penalties we're going to get. We're going to get some decent ones, I won't lie. When I was going along that barn, it just kept acting like I was driving right alongside it, and I was nowhere near it. I can see mowed grass on the other side of the spot that I'm working on. So we're getting there. Yeah, there's a definite downhill slope once I hit this part right here. Making me go faster and bogging down the engine a little bit more with taking on too much grass at the same time. Hey, we're above 90%. And only 6 minutes over the time we were supposed to get the job done. Right about here is where the hill picks up. What do we got to get? Oh, we got to get 99.9%. Wow. We've been doing 99.5. Hopefully that 0.4% doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I like that when I make that last stripe, and it's almost as wide as my mower deck. I hate when I have to take that last swipe and it's all, there's just enough that makes me have to turn around and pick up the last because it's just slightly wider than my mower deck. Alright, 98%, 98.2. Hopefully this gets us all the way there because I don't want to go looking for fractions of a percentage. I think that this little patch here will definitely get me 0.4%. Fingers crossed, anyway. All right, we're done. Wow, 50 minutes. And it was supposed to take 39, so 11 minutes longer. Well, hopefully we didn't get too much of a penalty. That was an endurance. All right, how bad was it? Oh, hey, we actually did better. We were supposed to get 1,295, and we ended up with 1,323. So what is that? Not quite 30. $28. Okay, so we got $9.24 for the ground check bonus and the earnings, ground check earnings for 35. But we had $15.80 worth of penalties. So, hey, okay, all right. We didn't get a time bonus, but we still did get a little bit of a bonus on that one. Nice. All right, and our HQ upgrade has completed. Let's see. Can we purchase an HQ yet? No. Oh, wait. That's the one that we actually own. So the next one is 160. So we need $10,000 to be able to trade in for the Whitehall house. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see. We have our vehicle is worth $4,635, and we have $3,289 in the bank. So let's see, can we get anything more? Not yet. This is the next highest one up. Right now we have, the one that we have right now is 122, the deck size is 122. This one's 10 centimeters more. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it does make a difference. It's got 26 horsepower versus 22.5, so it is a nice upgrade. Let's see. I'm trying to remember which one's the one that I had in my other playthrough. Did I have the Toro? I don't think I had this one. No, I don't. No, I didn't have this one. The one that I had was zero turn radius. I think this is the one that I had, the highest one, the 155. And this thing is a monster. I love this machine. 31 horsepower. The highest one is 37.4. But yeah, the Skag line is pretty good. in this one. But yeah, that's the highest one I have is the 155. This thing makes such short work of like the job that I just had. This thing would have no problem getting the damn thing taken care of. So just a little bit of quick math. So I need my calculator. So this one is $8,480. And what's the current value? What I have right now, my trade-in value is $4,635. So I need, oh wow, I only need 3289.62. So I only need $555 more, and I'll be able to trade this thing in for it. Let's see what kind of jobs we have. Do we have anything that's going to give me $555? No, but we got $480. And that one's a much easier job. But we're actually going to call it at this point. So, because that last job was quite enough. Alrighty. Well, that's going to do it for this broadcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I want to give a special shout out to a good friend and longtime subscriber of the show, Initial Butler. It was nice seeing an old friend stop by and dropping by. He and I kind of watch each other's shows when we can, but we're in two completely different time zones, so it's hard to make things work. I'm in Australia, he's in England. It's a big time difference. I also wanted to give a shout out to 0203 Brett. Always good to have repeat customers coming by, and yeah, one of my newer followers right there. So thank you for that. And if you are still watching this one and are looking for a recommendation, by all means go see Initial Butler. He is broadcasting, I think he's broadcasting right now. Let me double check right now. Just make sure. I do a raid, but I think there's more to it than that. Yeah, he's broadcasting right now, and he is doing Hollow Knight, which is a game I haven't played, but I hear a lot of good things about. I hear it's really friggin' difficult. So yeah, check him out. Initial Butler, really nice guy, great streamer, a lot of fun to chat with. So go check them out if you're now that we're done broadcasting here. Definitely a recommendation right there. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for this one. I'm still going to continue promoting my Sugar Pants Video Basement. We're in the off season right now, but seasons 1 and 2 are 100% complete. That's 6 episodes each season, so there's 12 full episodes already up, and we're just halfway through it. There's still 12 episodes on the way, but we're in kind of the downtime right now. Basically, the way I did it was 6 weeks on, 6 weeks or 7 weeks off. 6 weeks on, 7 weeks off. 6 weeks on, 7 weeks off, and that. For some reason, that timed out really well. I've got a much better upload schedule for year 2. Year 2 is going to be every other week, and it's a little bit more consistent. But I started with this upload schedule, and I'm just going to leave it alone because I really don't feel like going through and restructuring the whole thing. So check out all those videos if you haven't. There's a lot of good stuff in there, 12 episodes, but we got 12 episodes on the way. So if you're one of those persons who's like, well, I don't want to get started on something if it's not going to go the full distance, this one's going to, I promise you. This is something I've always wanted to do. It's a passion project of mine, and I definitely want it to, well, I want it to be something that I can definitely do well into my golden years. This is, I'm laying the groundwork so that this is something that I can do in my retirement and still hopefully make some money doing it. Because if there's one thing that there will never be a shortage of, it's shitty movies. Crappy, low budget schlock. It's always going to be there. It would take me years just to get through the 80s alone. I've got so many 80s movies. I've got a few 90s movies, but then moving on to the 90s and then the early 2000s and everything. There's plenty of stuff for me to work on. So that will do it. Thank you so much for joining me on this. And until I greet you again, whether that be tomorrow or whenever, we'll have to see how tomorrow. I've got a shift at my job tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. But we'll make the announcement on Twitter. Follow me on my Twitter. You can check out all the links are down below. You can check that out and follow me on. The reason why you want to follow me on Twitter is I always announce what game I'm going to be broadcasting, so you kind of know ahead of time what's going to be going on and if it's going to happen at all. If there's going to be a cancellation, that's where I make the announcements as well. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next time.